Hey, boys and girls. Hope you're having a great day. Today's Thursday. Yay! We've made it through 4 days. So today we're going to read a story about great leaders. Um, all right. We're also going to be talking about evaluating our text, not evaluate like the test, but this is evaluating our story. Okay, and our genre today is an opinion. And authors usually write opinions to show their thoughts or beliefs or ideas. So when you read an opinion piece, you'll notice that what the author's opinion is, the reasons that support an opinion, and then ways the author tries to make you, the reader, agree with him or her opinion. And then so today with our objective, we're going to summarize a section of a text by thinking about details that you have just read, because that'll help you to know what you're understanding. So here's an evaluate. Authors include many details on a topic in an informational text, and some of the details are more important than other details. So as you read, you have to figure out which details are more important to know and will help you understand the key ideas. So you might want to read a little bit of the text or the page and then ask yourself questions like, what's important to know, or what details might help me figure out the key idea. So think about the author's words as you read, and then evaluate or decide what's important in the story. Okay? So let's go to the first. Oh, and we'll also be using our race strategy to help us answer some questions. So this says turn to my book on page 58. So you can turn to your book. If you need to pause, you can. Or if you just want to listen to me read today, that's fine too. While we're on this page, I want you to make a prediction about what you think this story is going to be about just by looking at the cover. I'm going to move over here so you can see it better. Okay, so this guy, the first picture says, hello, I'm W.E.B. Du Bois, and the other one says, hi, I'm Abigail Adams. Then underneath it says, great leaders. The school newspaper asked 2 students to write their opinion about a great leader in history. Olivia chose Abigail Adams, and Anthony chose W.E.B. Du Bois. So read both essays, and then what makes each person a great leader. All right, so here's Olivia. I'm going to take myself out of the picture because I want you to see Olivia and see what she's writing about. She says, hello, I'm Olivia. Abigail Adams, strong women, strong leader. Abigail Adams was a strong leader. She was focused on getting things done. I hope you will agree with me. Abigail was the wife of our second president, John Adams. Many women didn't have a good education then. Abigail couldn't go to school when she was little because of an illness. She was very smart, though. She learned things on her own, and she studied history and politics. When John was away, Abigail took care of his normal chores. She did John's chores, too. When John was away, Abigail took care of her normal chores. She did John's chores, too. She even bought and sold land. Back then, only men did those types of jobs. Abigail felt strongly about women's rights. As the United States was forming, she wrote a letter to John. She wanted to tell the men to remember the ladies. She felt women should help make the laws if they had to follow them. There's a statue of her and her son. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so on this page, and I'm going to squeeze it in here, so make it bigger so we can see. Oh, I drew on that. That's okay. I'll just erase it real quick. No biggie. Okay. She also wanted girls to be able to go to public schools like boys. She and John often spoke about these things. He had respect for her ideas. Sometimes he would take her advice when making decisions. Because of this, some people called her Mrs. President because she told her husband what to do. That's funny. Okay, as you can see, Abigail Adams did things that were unusual for women of her time. She helped her husband make decisions for the country. She talked about rights for women. She did jobs around the house that were usually done by men. Because of these reasons, I think Abigail Adams was a great example of a leader. So down here at the bottom, it says, what important ideas does Olivia explain in her essay on page 63? So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm going to circle my question word, what? And then it says, important ideas does Olivia explain on page 63. So now I'm going to go back to 63 and blow it up. And let's see if important ideas. I think one important idea is she helped her husband make decisions. And she talked about women's rights. That's important. And she did jobs around the house that were usually done by men. Okay? So now let's go back down here to our question. And it says, what important ideas, what important ideas does Olivia explain in her essay on page 68? So I think the important ideas, and I'm going to try to type it in there. This is a little tricky, so you might not be able to see it that well, but when you do yours, I don't know how to move those colors over, so we'll just try to type over it. Okay, so let's see. I don't know why it's not typing, so I'm just going to tell you what I would put on this. The important ideas that Olivia explains on page 68 are: she helped her husband make decisions for the country, she talked about women's rights, and she did jobs around the house for men, period, that were usually done by men, period. That's what I would have written on there. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so this says, let me see if I can get that bigger. Okay, it says, I think okay, so this is Anthony. Oh, Anthony, this is like you, Anthony in my class, Anthony Campbell. Okay, so he says, hi, I'm Anthony. W.E.B. Du Bois was a powerful leader. I think W.E.B. Du Bois was an important leader in his country. He worked to change what he did. Okay, I'm going to put it on, hold on just a second. Let me put it on pause for a second. Okay, so this says W.E.B. Du Bois was a powerful leader. I think W.E.B. Du Bois was an important leader in our country. He worked to change what he did not like. He wanted to help others, and he did it. He also earned the respect of people around the world. Excuse me. In 1895, W.E.B. Du Bois graduated from Harvard University. Excuse me. Graduated from Harvard University, one of the best colleges in our country. He was the first African American to earn a special degree from there called a PhD. He led the way for others who wanted an education. While most people spent 4 years in college, W.E.B. Du Bois chose to stay longer. This shows he was a hard worker. Okay, so W.E.B. Du Bois had many jobs throughout his life. One of those jobs was a teacher. In a way, teachers are leaders. They set examples for how their students should act. W.E.B. Du Bois felt strongly about people's rights. When he moved to Tennessee, he found that some people did not have the same rights as others. This made him sad and angry. He tried to fix the problem. W.E.B. Du Bois wrote papers and gave speeches about equal rights. He became a famous supporter of equal rights. Being active in the community made W.E.B. Du Bois a better leader. He knew how to reach people. So what details help Anthony explain why being a teacher was an important job for W.E.B. Du Bois? So what you would do is circle what and then underline the details that help Anthony explain why being a teacher was an important job for W.E.B. Du Bois. And the reason I think that the details that Anthony gave us were that teachers are leaders, and so they set examples, and so he felt strongly about people's rights, and so he moved to Tennessee and found that people did not have the same rights, and he tried to fix the problem. Okay? So W.E.B. Du Bois expected a lot from himself and others. He was a good role model who showed others how to make positive changes. I think we should learn from his actions. If we do, we can all be good leaders. Don't you agree? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to go back into the text and I want you to pick what details on the page you think are most important. So you're going to read this page right here. Actually, I'll just read it to you again, okay? And it says, W.E.B. Du Bois felt strongly about people's rights. When he moved to Tennessee, he found that some people did not have the same rights as others. This made him sad and angry. He tried to fix the problem. W.E.B. Du Bois wrote papers and gave speeches about equal rights. He became a famous supporter of equal rights. Being active in the community made W.E.B. Du Bois a better leader. He knew how to reach people. Okay, so what I want you to do is some of you are going to choose an answer, and some of you are going to need to write important details from this page that you think the details that are the most important and why. So find a detail on this page that you think is really important. Tell me what the detail is, and then write down why you think that detail is important. Okay? All right. I hope you have a great day. Tomorrow's Friday, and then we'll have the weekend to recoup and get back together again on Monday. I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.